Go
Okay,
for it.
I guess I'm going to talk about World of Warcraft. There's this fellow on World of Warcraft, famous for making just bucket loads of money. He's called the Greedy Goblin, and he has a blog in which he details some of his strategies. But he really just makes money by sitting in the auction house all day and trading. And most players go out and do adventures or whatever quests to earn money, but he just stays in the auction house and trades and doesn't produce anything really. So he has a bunch of tricks for doing this, and one of them is he corners markets. It's easiest when the markets are new. So, for instance, in the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, a new profession was made available. I believe it's called Inscription, and he leveled up his inscription relatively quickly and began creating the scrolls or runes or whatever that the inscription profession lets you create. And these are necessary for higher level players who want to be competitive and participate in raids and dungeons. So there's always a demand, and they have to be purchased. So what he would do is he would sell, and he did this for pretty much all the different kinds of inscriptions at once, the entire market. He sold inscriptions at an extremely low rate, obscenely low, unprofitable. Nobody could compete with him without losing money. He had a lot of money to lose, tons and tons of money. And then, so in that way, he kind of forced everybody else out of the market. Nobody else bothered to make or sell inscriptions because they weren't profitable anymore. And then he skyrocketed the prices. Once he had what was basically a monopoly on the market, he just dramatically increased the prices so that they were hugely profitable and really a bit of a ripoff. But everybody still had to buy them. I mean, there was still that demand where people had to have them to be competitive. So he could price them exorbitantly high and people would still buy them. And then of course you might wonder if somebody tries to undercut him just like he undercut everybody else. All he does is he buys out all of their inscriptions that they're undercutting him with. He just has so much funds that to buy out all those inscriptions is easy. And then he resells them at his higher price. So he profits off the undercutting attempts. And the main reason he can pull this off is because there's nobody else on the server who has the ability to really undercut him with enough inscriptions that they could lower the price of the market without him simply being able to buy them all and resell them at the higher price.
Alright, Luke, so now that we know a little bit about World of Warcraft, I've been playing Neopets recently. I don't know if you guys know what Neopets is. I'm sure a lot of you played it as youths.
Youths.
And so we were discussing what the Neopets economy is like. Would you like to explain that to everyone here?
Well, okay. I'm not an economics major. I don't know a whole lot about it, nor do I really know a whole lot about Neopets. But basically we were discussing how in a way it's a socialist economy because prices are fixed by the governing entity, the Neopets website. It's also, in a manner of speaking, a post-scarcity. I mean, it is a post-scarcity economy because there are unlimited resources, and the only scarcity is that which is, I know there's a word for it, but fabricated basically by the governing body in an attempt to increase the value of goods. So this discussion came up and we were talking about how in the Neopets economy, money is constantly being produced by everybody. So normally, if such an economy had a free market, inflation would be rampant as people could afford to pay more and more money for things, and the value of money decreased, and money could buy less is the concept. So the fact that the goods have fixed prices, though, means that money can always buy the same amount. And as people get wealthier and wealthier, all it means is that they can buy more and more stuff.
Alright, thank you very much, Luke. Alright, so now Ross, another guy here. You have some experience playing Neopets. What do you think about the fact that you are actually playing in a socialist type environment?
I haven't really played since I was like
He played last year. Don't let him lie to you.
That's true. I was trying to help Mike get to his goal of 10 million.
I'm trying to make 10 million Neo points. Okay.
But
I'm at about 3 right now. 3 million.
3 Neo points.
3 Neo points. All right, go ahead, Ross, man.
anyway,
So
I never really cared that much because it was just a game.
okay, but now that you know that you were playing in a socialist economy, what do you think about that?
Still not too worried about it.
Does that upset you?
No.
Okay, great, man.
They're just trying to entertain kids.
Okay.
And college.
Yeah, but can you really entertain kids with socialism? I mean,
Now that's the real question. What is?
You can,
American
obviously.
values?
Obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, should you?
All right, guys.
We're not.
We're 5 minutes 45 seconds in. Well, okay. So pretty much what I'm trying to get at here is, it's just kind of weird to think about things that you normally, like Neopets. People don't think about that very much. World of Warcraft. Apparently, this gentleman has way too much time on his hands to discover this type of thing. Would you agree?
I think that he's actually just very smart, and he already knew a lot about how economies worked. And he doesn't actually. I mean, he doesn't actually.
Okay, but why wouldn't he just do it in the real economy then?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
It's a lot
Coming
harder
from
in the
Luke.
real economy.
Luke.
It's a lot harder in the real economy because, I mean, if you think about how he's cornering a market like that, very few organizations in the real world have the resources to corner an actual market. Like I said, Walmart can do that in towns, but in World of Warcraft, an individual only really needs a certain amount of gold, which can be achieved with enough play, to completely corner a market on a server because the servers only have a population of, I think, a couple thousand.
All right, great. So, and what was his name again?
His blog is called The Greedy Goblin.
The Greedy Goblin. Go check him out. And yeah, that's what I got for you today. I am Mike, and you, my friends, have been both informed. And what, Ross?
Hogged?
Hogged. There it is. Good.